2, 1. Welcome back, John.
Thank you.
Another episode on Cheeks Productions channel. Wow, we had a whole conversation before this. And
We had an hour-long topic about love and relationships.
It was podcast worthy, but you're getting this, guys, now.
Yeah, we can't. That's too personal.
Yeah,
we can't put that out in the world. Too many listeners.
Maybe on our Patreon we can do it.
Maybe on our Patreon. Wait, so it's back to Cheeks Cast, not Let's Be Blunt?
I don't know yet, dude. Honestly,
what if Cheeks Cast is like?
Well, we can't. Let's Be Blunt. It's not consistent enough to be a show on its own, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
if we did it every week,
yeah,
it'd be different.
Okay.
You know, but as far as it is now, it's got to be Cheeks Cast.
Sure. What if Cheeks Cast is like the network, and then we're just a show on the network?
Well, that's what Cheeks Productions, the channel, is.
Okay, then our talks are just the Let's Be Blunt talks. It doesn't have to be consistent. It can be like once a month or, twice a month.
Okay. You know what? I'm down. All right. Anything goes on this channel.
That's kind of the allure of the podcast. It's like, maybe
like
on a random Wednesday in, July, you get a podcast.
And they're like, "Oh my God, we've been waiting for this for
for
years."
Yeah,
it's been 6 months.
What's your and Alex's podcast called?
Oh, so I didn't interview him, but we had a podcast with one of our coworkers at work, and it went great. Honestly, he's very talkative. Right now, he's a little tame now, guys, but I think eventually, he's going to be a little bit more open,
What's that podcast called? Hitting the Slopes?
It's Cheeks Cast number 7 or 6 or 8.
You guys should name it Hitting the Slopes.
Hitting the Slopes? That's going to be your job on Cheeks Productions. You're going to name all the podcasts.
Yeah, dude. I'm marketing manager.
Yeah. Hey, if we ever get big enough, let me just tell you how comfortable John's house is, or John's apartment is. The couch is comfy, which is like my number one in terms of comfortableness. And then he has everything organized like a serial killer. It's incredible.
Bro, that's exactly what one of my old coworkers said.
Dude, this guy's psycho, dude. He has, you should see his fridge. That's all I'm going to say, dude. Every drink was alphabetized but it's really comfortable here.
I have the drinks organized by manufacturer's father's last name, actually.
You hear that, guys?
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means you have to research.
I had to research who created Corona, find out their father's name, and then put that alphabetically next to the Red Bulls.
And it's in Spanish, too. They got a whole other language going on.
Yeah, it's really tough, but I put in the effort.
I love that. Well, since we're talking about fucking psycho people.
Let's talk about this list you want to talk about.
Yeah. So I have a list by Rolling Stone. I'm a big scary movie fan. I'm not a movie connoisseur, though.
By the way, I love a good list. It could be a list about anything. It could be a list about candle scents. It could be a list about movies. It could be a list about cereals. Like, I love a good list.
Top 10 blueberries.
It's a great debate topic. Any list.
Okay. Let me give you this one. Okay. Now I'm gonna read this list off, and I want you to give me your list.
First of all, when was the list published?
You know what? I didn't get that far.
I mean, was it published last year? Was it published in 1974, or like when was it?
Hereditary's on it, so we'll go off 2018.
Okay, so within the past 5 years or so.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go off this list, and then I want you to give me your all-time list. But that's just in terms of just like value of overall, and then I want you to give me what scared you the most list. Okay. So we'll start with number 10. Number 10, Hereditary.
This is all time. Rolling Stone is Hereditary, number 10.
Number 10.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Kind of absurd and recency bias, but okay.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The original one from the 70s?
Yes.
Valid.
Is
Yep. Excellent film.
Is that because of popularity?
No, it's because of its influence in terms of its execution at the time, in terms of its impact at the time, in terms of the filmmaking at the time, all those things. Okay. Amongst many others. It is truly horrific.
Dawn of the Dead. The old one.
Okay.
The oldest one.
I'm not a huge zombie movie guy, but I know its historical significance in cinema's history.
I thought the new one was... I never seen the old one, but I only saw the new one, and it was okay.
Yeah.
Get Out is number 7.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not feeling that one at all, huh?
I get it. It's not in my list, but I understand a publication like Rolling Stone putting it at number 7.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that Rolling Stone's an incredibly popular magazine that wants to appeal to as many people as possible. Mm-hmm. I also understand that in the business of putting out lists, you want some controversy to get people talking about it. It's a beloved movie. It's a culture-changing movie of the past 10 years. So for all those reasons, I understand why they put it on the list. Is it one of the? This is the top 10 scariest movies of all time. Yeah. That's the list. That's the title of the list.
That's the title. That's not, literally what I looked up.
In my opinion, that is absolutely not one of the 10 scariest movies of all time.
Okay.
But I understand why they put it on there.
Okay, let's move on because I want to hear your list. Inside. It's a movie called Inside.
Okay, never even heard of it.
Yeah, never heard of it either. Halloween's at number 5.
The original Halloween.
The original Halloween.
Very fair. I would argue it could be higher.
Don't Look Now is at number 4.
Never even heard of
it. The Ring is at number 3.
Okay.
I love this, dude.
Yeah.
If you can see his face right now on all these. Number 2, Psycho.
Okay.
And then number 1 is Exorcist. The Exorcist. The original Exorcist.
Fair. 100%. Fair. That's one of the few ones I agree that should be at number 1.
Okay. So where do you see... Okay, first let's ask, where do you see none of these in the top 10?
Like, which of those do I think should not be in the top 10?
Exactly.
Get Out should not be in the top 10. Hereditary should not be in the top 10.
Uh-huh. And is it because they're too new, or is it just because they're not of that
I don't think
quality?
I don't think Get Out is scary.
Okay.
I think Get Out's more of a psychological thriller than... I know it's billed as a horror movie.
Yeah.
But... scary and horrific are two different things.
That'd be like calling Nope a horror movie, right? Because I don't see that as really a horror movie.
And it's classified as a horror movie, but it's not. When I think horror, I think horrific. That's what the term horror literally is short for. Horrific.
So define that. Elaborate.
Exorcist is horrific.
Okay.
And scary.
Yeah. It's like disturbing.
Yes.
Okay, so if Get Out's not on there, why not Hereditary top 10? Because I heard
Hereditary is almost kind of in the same. Hereditary to me is creepier than Get Out because there's scenes and moments and set pieces in it that are like truly like horrific, but all time, no way. There's just too many other movies that you could argue have influenced Hereditary, are scarier than Hereditary, have paved the way for movies like Hereditary. I love Hereditary. I think Hereditary is a really great movie. Okay. But I don't think it's 10 of the one. I don't think it's 10 of the scariest movies of all time by any means.
What about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes, I would put Chainsaw Massacre in the top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah.
So we're taking Don't Look Now because you obviously haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And we're taking that out. Okay, so
and Psycho should be in there. You also have to think about the thing about this list is
it's overall greatness, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing about horror movies is, and this horror is one of the few genres where this is true, is that at the time that they came out, Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and especially Psycho, when Psycho came out, there had never, ever in the history of cinema been a movie like Psycho for a lot of reasons. There had never been there's a scene in Psycho where a toilet is swirled, where you see the toilet flush and you see the water go down the toilet. That had never been shown in a film before, ever.
Okay.
You had never seen violence like that.
So I'm a non...
Yeah.
I don't want to say I'm not a non-movie goer. I love movies, but I'm not a connoisseur like you are.
So there's things about Psycho that...
What's the significance of just that itself?
Not significance of just that, but people hadn't seen certain things. Yeah. Just like Exorcist. No one had seen someone's head spin around and vomit and say things like, your mother sucks cocks in hell. That had not been put in the movies before.
It's laughable now.
And so it's because we're so desensitized, we've seen so much since then, it doesn't hold the same weight as it did in 1970, whatever it came out, or 1960, whenever Psycho came out.
Okay.
So at the time... people are like horrified in the theater. Like, I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. This has never been seen on film before.
Okay.
So that has to be taken into context. If you show a 17-year-old now Psycho, they'd be like, all right, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
Because they're so desensitized because there's way more violent stuff on just normal cable.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Where at the time, like, you couldn't even show women in lingerie in commercials on TV at the time. Like, that was unheard of.
Okay,
so the context in which the movie came out is extremely important to how scary it is. And the fact they put Exorcist #1, I give them props, because to me, Exorcist was one of the few movies where it does hold up, where you're still like, geez, man. It may not have the same impact as it did to people in the 70s when they saw it.
Yeah.
But you're still like, geez, man. Like, I can't believe she's saying, I hope your mother sucks cocks in hell to her own mother. Like, you just don't hear that on a day-to-day basis, so it does take you aback.
No, I love this. I love this, like, passion for it, honestly. Okay, so because we have talked about, like, all that stuff and how you feel about it, what is your top 10 list of, like, scary movies? Scary movies overall, not that scared you, but overall.
Man, I got to really think about it. I should have been thinking about it when you gave me the prompt earlier.
What about just top 5 then? Top 5, I think it'd be a little bit easier, right?
What I think should be in the top 5 scary movies of all time?
Overall, like, overall.
Not my personal.
Well, just in terms of just, like, greatness. Like, you know, like, obviously, like, you know, when they talk about, like, rappers, you know, they put some people up there because, like, they pioneered stuff.
Right.
You know, so give me your top 5, like, overall, and then I want the ones that actually scare you after.
I'm not even going to look at my phone. I'm not even going to look it up. I'm just going to go off the top of the dome.
That's good, because that's what you know.
But I think it should be a lot of the ones actually in the top 10. I think it should be in no order. I'm not saying these in any order. The 5 should be Halloween, the original Halloween.
Okay.
Psycho.
Okay.
The Exorcist. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And 5 should be... A lot of people, even though it's not to me an all horror movie, a lot of people put Jaws in horror.
Okay, I could see that though, because of how fucking scary that would be to get eaten by a shark.
That impact, because a lot of people consider Jaws the first ever blockbuster movie. In fact, the term blockbuster comes from, the line is so long down the block that it's wrapping around, so it's a blockbuster.
Yeah.
That's where the term blockbuster comes from.
And that's
what Jaws was the first of its kind in that sense.
So
during the summer.
Okay.
And also, like things that you can't measure with dollars. Like, people were truly petrified to go in the water at the beaches after that. People were scared I've heard anecdotal stories of people not taking showers after seeing Psycho.
Okay.
So all these kind of like little cultural impacts that these movies have had matter, on top of like impact in movies going forward and box office and all these things that you can measure a little bit more.
I love that you put that in there, honestly, because that's
Jaws.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Because like I didn't even think about that. That was not even.
I'm surprised Jaws isn't on.
It wasn't even.
Honestly.
It might have been mentioned. I looked at the top 25.
Yeah.
To be totally honest, I didn't see it at all. So that was a good. That was a good catch.
Some people don't consider it a horror movie because it's just like
that's
some
why.
people consider it just a drama.
That's why. Yeah, but I was pretty. Yeah, you're right. I remember I saw just like the remakes of them, and I was like, I'm not getting the fucking water, dude. There's fucking sharks out there. Okay, so we got your overall.
Rosemary's Baby in the top 10. Rosemary's Baby is insane.
I've never seen that one. Is that?
It's kind of.
Is it older too?
Yeah, it's in the. I want to say 70s.
That's like when you were born, right? Around that.
The director is like. The director is kind of hard to talk about because he's banned from the United States because of an alleged rape of a young child.
Was it because of the movie itself?
No.
Oh,
he was accused of raping a young child outside of the movie.
Okay.
Has nothing to do with the movie.
Well, I just thought, one of those things where it's like, because the movie was so vicious.
No. Like, the movie's about a woman that gives birth to the devil.
Okay. Like the Omen. Like kind of like.
Yeah.
Those are like remakes of it, right?
Huh?
Those are like remakes of it?
No, not remakes of it. Just a different angle of it.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's kind of it's more about trauma of being a mother, these kind of undertones of trauma of being a mother, but there is this like horrific element about the Omen is the child is just terrorizing things.
Oh, okay.
And people. This is like about the trauma of like about to have a child, and there's all these other underlying tones and threads that Rosemary's Baby tackles that the Omen doesn't.
You know what? I think I've been doing you a disservice in not watching more movies.
Yeah, you gotta watch more movies.
Yeah, because I think that you're just the hearing you talk about them, like I'm like, you know when you hear someone talk about something you're not interested in?
All the time. I'll watch a lot of like, I don't know if you see on YouTube, but GQ or like, I forgot who it was, has a lot of videos of like experts talking about, like, they'll have like a climbing expert talk about climbing in movies and be like, well, that rope wouldn't be used in this situation, and that rope wouldn't. I love hearing people that are experts in things talk about things that they're experts in.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh wow, you're learning, and
there's
also
more
like,
to it than I thought.
There's way more to it than you thought. Like, I watched the guy build a shelf on YouTube, like, for another YouTuber, and he's like talking about all these different grains of wood and like I'm like, what? I didn't know about all of, like, oh, this type of grain of wood doesn't look better with this type. I was like, oh man, I didn't know any of this.
Those guys make the most money on YouTube too, because I watch a restoration guy.
Oh yeah,
and he fucking makes, dude. He has like 19 million. He's not saying shit throughout the whole. He's just crazy. Fucking putting shit in citric acid.
So yeah, that's why it's interesting to hear people talk about what they know.
Okay, but going back, I want to hear your top 10, top 5 scary movies, but the ones that actually scared you, where you were like, when you like left the theaters or wherever you were like, okay, like I'm a little paranoid, you know?
Okay. This is in no order. These are just off the top of my head of movies that have an imprint on me that I've never forgotten, that I go back to and watch a lot.
Yeah.
And also, I should say that when I was in my late 20s, I had a phase where I was actively seeking out the most horrific underground horror films I could possibly find.
This is gonna get sick, guys.
So much so that I found a movie called The Serbian Film. That's the name of the movie, The Serbian Film.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on a lot of people's list of like, oh, this is the craziest horror movie ever. And there's a store in LA called Amoeba Records. Have you heard of it? They sell a bunch of like records and Blu-rays, and it's a really cool store. So much so that I went to Amoeba Records in LA to track down this movie to buy it. And I went to the guy at the counter. I was like, hey, I didn't see... Do you guys have The Serbian Film? I didn't see it on the shelves out there. He goes, oh, no, we keep it in the back. And I was like... He's like, do you want it? I go, ring me up right now.
That's such a weird thing.
And I bought it, and I watched it, and it's insane. But that's not one of my scariest movies, because it wasn't scary. It's too insane to be scary for me.
Okay, so what? Give me like a premise of like what's going on there. Because if it's that crazy, you got to talk about it now.
The movie is about this retired porn star. It's in Serbia.
Yeah.
This movie's about this retired porn star guy. It's a male porn star that's retired, and he's propositioned to do one more porn film, and he'll kind of be set for life.
Yeah.
And the film that he has to make is like absolutely insane. Like, it's the most insane thing you've ever seen. That's not one of my scariest movies.
Okay.
So some 10 off the top of my head. Can I just do 5? Or you
Why'd
want
you
10?
mention that one if that was...
Because I was just saying, like, for context, like, at one point I was looking for the craziest shit I could find.
Okay.
Like, there's a movie, but crazy and violent to me doesn't mean scary to me.
Yeah.
So, like, there's
thriller...
things where he's, like, slashing a woman's throat while he's fucking the shit out of her and then ripping her head off. And, like, that's not scary to me because it's so unrealistic.
Okay.
Things to me that are scary are things that could actually happen.
Like someone breaking into your house or something like
yes,
that.
That's the number one thing for me that is scary. Is someone killing me, breaking into my house and killing me, or like murdering me or murdering someone I love.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, well...
And some of these movies don't fall into that category, but that's what scares me the most.
Okay, yeah. Just give me the top 5 of yours.
7.
Okay. I could see it, but not that scary to me, but I get that.
Saw.
That one freaked me out.
The very first Saw.
The one where he cut off his leg?
Yeah.
That was scary.
Scary to me. This is not a scary movie.
No. Yeah, okay.
Arachnophobia. Because I fucking hate spiders.
Like,
and there's a lot of like triggering things of like a woman taking a shower and a giant spider crawling out from behind the shower head.
Yeah.
Like that shit. Nope.
Did you watch 8-Legged Freaks too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was almost too like...
Was it cringy? Or was it just...
too like B movie-ish.
Okay.
I mean, it's supposed to be, but it
was like, what do you call it? Like, something comedy? There's a slapstick?
Yeah, wasn't slapstick. It was just too B movie-ish for me. Which I know was its intention. It's like kind of like making fun of like the 30, like old school, like Attack of the Giant Woman. It's kind of making fun of those type of movies.
Okay.
So Arachnophobia, Saw, 7. What else scared the shit out of me? The Sixth Sense.
Never seen it, but always hear like it's pretty scary.
Yeah.
A lot of people tell me about that one. Yeah, that guy's fat now. The kid.
Haley Joel Osment?
Yeah, just
great actor,
thought.
yeah. I'm trying to think of another one. You know what scared the shit out of me when I first saw it? The Fugitive with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. And it's not a scary movie, it's an action movie. But there's a scene where someone breaks into Harrison Ford's house and murders his wife violently. And it scared the shit out of me.
Jesus Christ.
But these aren't scary movies. If you're just talking my top 10 scary...
No, you're... But yeah. Going off what you... This is your stuff. You already named the scariest movies that you thought value. Yeah. This is what's scaring you.
Yeah, so if I'm just talking my favorite scary movies, I would put like...
Will you put Sinister at all in there?
No. I was too old. It didn't scare me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are all like when I was younger where I was like, holy fuck, dude.
I must have been high or something. That's the thing is like you have to be younger and more naive to really understand it, right? Because The Ring, I was like 8. Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't look at a TV for fucking 2 weeks. Yeah.
Honestly, you know what creeped me out recently? That really creeped me out. That I thought was really good. It wasn't even a movie. Was the Dahmer Netflix series?
Yeah,
that
was
fucking
creepy.
Creeped me out.
Yeah, dude.
I definitely looked at my door and be like, "All right, it's locked." A couple of times, you know.
Honestly,
that was super effective.
That fucked me up too. There was a while I was like, "Oh my god, like what's real?"
And I'm not gay, so I wasn't a target of his, but.
And not a minority.
So
I was a little worried.
Yeah. But
I'm half white now, so I don't know if we've discussed it.
So my 10 of my favorite horror movies were my top 10 favorite horror movies would be in no order.
Top 5. Top 10. We already did a top 5 for your other one. Do top 5 now.
No, we did top 5 for my scariest. Now we're doing top 10 of just my favorites.
But like you rewatch these?
Yeah.
Okay.
In no order.
All right, go.
All right, count them off for me. Exorcist, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Thing, Alien, 7. What am I at? 6? 4 more. What else scares me? What else? I mean, what other horror movies do I love? I mean, Psycho. Trying to think of like good 80s and 90s horror movies that I really like a lot.
Jason?
No, I was never. I was always a Michael Myers over Jason guy. Jason.
Freddy.
Nope, I didn't care about Freddy.
Really? Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, it never scared me.
That scared the fuck out of me.
I'm trying to think. I should have made a list.
Well, you got 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 7. Zodiac. That's not really a horror movie. That's more of a thriller.
Was Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count that.
Yeah, that's not really a horror movie.
I don't know who's that scared. It's a detective movie.
Yeah.
What about Prisoners?
Yeah, that's more a thriller than horror.
Okay.
But I do love Prisoners.
But talking about the same one, Jake Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah.
The Strangers.
That's up there. I just rewatched that. That's really good.
The Last House on the Left.
That's good, but that's
no.
That's not one of my favorite horror movies.
Okay.
Any
of the Insidious movies?
No. All that shit does not do it for me.
Conjuring?
Nope. Conjuring was good. I mean, the last great horror movie I saw that I really loved was a movie called Barbarian.
That was a great fucking movie. I love that movie. That's the one with the It guy, right?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Skarsgård. Yeah.
That was a great movie.
I really liked the first It. I said The Thing.
The first It, as in the old one or the
new first one?
The new first one. Okay, that was scary.
I'm kind of glancing over my movie collection here to see if anything is sparking my memory.
You guys, and let me tell you, we can't see it, but there's a wider range of movies and Blu-ray discs.
I think it's like not that much. It's like close to like 150 or 200 movies.
Yeah, I don't think the average person has that.
No,
you know
I'm
what
a fucking
weirdo. Blu-ray too. This guy lives in the fucking 2005 or something like that. You know.
Yeah, it's expensive to switch over to the 4K completely. What else? You know what's funny is I recently, like, as much as I love horror movies, I didn't really get deep into horror until the last, like, 6 to 8 years of my life. So it was never, like, my main go-to. My favorite genre of movie is thriller, crime thriller.
You were still like Shutter Island.
That's Shutter Island, Prisoners, 7, I guess you could put in the thriller bin. But those are the 7 I could think of off the top of my head.
You know what's funny about your 7, too, is, like, those are classic movies.
Yeah.
Like, those are movies that, like... Because, like, you're right. There's nothing really scares you anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
like,
I've seen everything. I'm so desensitized. I really liked Hostel. People hated
Hostel
it. Was
scary.
called this, like, there was this wave of movies called something like horror porn or something like that. What was the term? Where it was just like a lot of naked women being tortured movies, and it was like Hostel, Saw. Like there was this wave of movies.
Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think of the
Was
term.
that one of them?
Huh?
Was Hills Have Eyes one of them?
I don't think so.
Torture
porn.
Torture porn.
That was a huge wave of movies that I actually, people didn't like it at all, and I really liked it.
So, yeah, dude, this guy.
I love a movie where there's interesting ways of torturing someone.
If I don't survive after this, guys, you know,
you know I'm the culprit. I love a movie where there's interesting ways of torturing someone. But yeah, Saw fucked me up, man. When the first time I remember seeing the trailer for Saw in like my freshman year, being like, dude, I don't know if I can handle watching this.
Yeah,
and I saw it, and my mind was blown after watching it.
I think the whole cutting your own foot off thing was a wild concept to me, because I was like, I would never. House of 1,000 Corpses scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
So
Devil's Rejects put on my top 10.
Oh really? Yeah. Over House of 1,000 Corpses?
Dude. I love Devil's Rejects.
It's a good movie, but I feel like House of 1,000 Corpses was so much more. I don't know, when they skinned the guy's head.
Yeah.
I was like, that made me cringe so bad,
really?
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, that's basically 10 now, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm seeing if I have any like type of list.
You're gonna go see Oppenheimer and Barbie on Friday, right?
I already have my tickets.
He already has his tickets, so he is going to see.
But look at this. I want to show you something. I have this app called Letterbox. It's like social media, but only for movies. There's no like posting pictures of yourself or anything. It's only like you're basically recording what movies you've watched and rating them and seeing what other people you follow rate them, right?
I love that. Yeah.
And so you can make lists. You can do all types of cool shit on here if you like movies. So like I have this giant list of movies that I have to see.
For people listening, he's just showing me the Letterbox app and all the movies he's going to see right now. What's coming out that you're interested in?
No, this isn't coming out. These are movies from my past.
Okay, what's coming out right now that's that you're really interested, other than the Oppenheimer and Barbie, which you're going to go see?
Yeah.
Which I want to hear you review, which when we get together, you're going to review it, because Christopher Nolan's definitely a favorite director of mine, for sure.
I'm excited for a lot of movies. My favorite director has a movie coming out this year called The Killer, about a serial killer. My favorite director is a guy named David Fincher. He directed Seven and Fight Club and Social Network.
Okay, so he's definitely...
Yeah, he's my favorite director of all time.
Yeah.
And he has a new movie coming out. He created House of Cards. He's one of the creators of that show.
Other than the controversy, what he did, are you a big Kevin Spacey fan?
As an actor?
As an actor.
Yeah, dude.
Besides
at one time, he was like top tier, one of the top tier actors.
Yeah, he was like the guy, right?
Yeah, he was like, he's so good. And it's like, sucks, like, oh, you have to ruin it by like touching boys. You know?
Underage boys. We don't have a problem with touching
no
18 and over boys.
That's why I said boys specifically, not men. No, once you start touching underage boys, then you're kind of... you kind of disowned from society.
Yeah, dude. I hope he's making movies on his own, though, right?
Huh?
No, I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
So I'm excited for that. The Killer. I'm probably most excited for...
Who's in The Killer? Anybody like well known?
Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
You know him?
He's X-Men. That's Magneto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a good one.
The probably thing I'm most excited for more than anything is a movie called Killers of the Flower Moon with Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio. Have you heard of him? And it's directed by Martin Scorsese.
So that's going to be a good one. You know, The Irishman, it was good, but it wasn't his best.
No, it wasn't.
So I'm interested. Wait, he did Wolf of Wall Street too, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so yeah,
Goodfellas.
We're pretty interested.
Casino.
I know Goodfellas. Yeah, I know Casino too. Those are my some of my favorite movies.
Yeah, dude. Cape Fear. That's a creepy movie. That's a good horror. That's a good movie.
That's the one with the taxi. He was a taxi driver, right?
No, that's Taxi Driver.
Oh.
Cape Fear is about a guy played by Robert De Niro who terrorizes this family, like terrorizes them, and it's one of the greatest endings ever. One of the craziest, cool, operatic endings ever. Where he attacks them on their houseboat.
Don't tell me about it.
It's great. It's good, man. You should watch it. I'll make you a list of all these movies you should watch.
Okay. Because I feel like I'm left out sometimes. You and Anthony just
I know, man.
You guys are like, this is great cinematic.
Right?
And I'm like, yeah, dude, I played Warzone yesterday.
Yeah, you watched fucking Iron Man for the 30th time.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty good.
Like when one of my good friends was like, yeah, dude, I rewatched all the Spider-Mans. I was like, bro, what a waste of time, dude.
I'd never do that.
To each their own. I rewatch movies all the time, but you can find something more interesting than No Way Home.
I think the only movie that I've actually seen multiple times is Goodfellas. I've actually rewatched.
I rewatch movies all the time.
Yeah.
Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that one with Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Margot Robbie on the cover.
I haven't seen that one, but
I rewatch that all the time. I rewatch a lot of movies. I rewatch. There's 5 movies I rewatch every year: Training Day, Truman Show.
I've seen it once, but
American Psycho.
That's the
Christian Bale.
Yep, that's a good one too.
Toy Story. I try and watch a lot. Goodfellas. I watch once a year. I love Toy Story.
What an odd switch in genre.
I know.
Right?
I love Toy Story. Look at Woody right there, bro.
That's right, dude. He does have a lot of more Simpsons than anything, but definitely.
Bro, this closet in the hallway right here is filled with toys.
Stuffed animals
that I've put away to look like a grown up in front of girls.
You truly have a gender switch in your relationship.
Well, that plus also when I was single living here, the first time I had a girl come over, I could feel I had a ton of action figures out. I felt like Steve Carell from the 4-year-old version.
Oh yeah,
I was like, she is judging the fuck out of me.
You're like, I promise I slept with more girls.
Yeah, dude. I have Ace Ventura dolls and Simpson bobbleheads, and I was like, I gotta grow up a little bit, at least seem like I'm growing up a little bit, and put some of this shit away and put some candles out.
I'm sure some of that stuff is pretty. Is that some of that stuff pretty expensive now? Like the resale value? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even looked into it, to be honest.
No. Wow. You should look into it because I'm sure a lot.
It's priceless to me. It's my own little collection.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, you'd probably be more valuable to you if there's a monetary thing.
Yeah,
on it, right?
I mean, one year my parents gave me this this model train thing that's made out of pottery clay, but it's Simpsons themed.
Oh, okay.
And I looked it up, and that thing's worth some money, dude.
Yeah. Do you still have it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. See,
you should see. I have a bin. I have a big bin. You know those big plastic bins you put Christmas decorations in?
Yeah.
I have a big bin like that full of every Simpsons toy I ever owned.
Is it opened?
Huh?
Are they opened?
Some of them are. Some of them aren't.
Oh, okay. The unopened ones go for way more money.
Oh, probably, yeah.
But a lot of people tell me, because I had a friend who was into shoes, kind of like how you were into collecting stuff.
Yeah. I have a massive shoe collection too.
And that too.
Yeah.
But that's like a savings account.
Yeah, dude.
Because if you fucking ever are fucked up one day and you know what, I need at least maybe he sold his entire shoe collection, maybe 15 shoes, 10 grand.
I was gonna say I probably have 10 grand up there.
That's what I'm saying. So for all these fucking people, including my grandparents, he told me how stupid I was.
Yeah.
I have $3,000 worth of shoes in my room.
Probably easily have 10 grand worth of shoes in my closet.
So you guys,
I have one shoe. I have a Kanye shoe in there that's I've never even stepped foot outside in, and that alone is worth probably $3,500.
Is it a Nike one?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Is it Red October?
Huh?
Is it Red October?
No, it's the other colorway, the solar red one, I believe it's called.
Doesn't matter. It's a Kanye Nike shoe.
Yeah. I'll pull it out for you after this podcast.
Oh, dude, I'm excited to see it. Kanye's like my favorite, dude.
You know what shoe I'm talking about? It's like black and like neon pinkish.
The only one I've seen is, I've probably seen it, but the only one I actually can remember is the Red October.
Oh, yeah. Red Octobers are big.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I'm big on collecting shit I like.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I don't know where I got it from because neither of my parents are collectors, but I have a record album collection, a little record album collection. I have a giant candle collection that's hidden away. I love collecting candles. I love collecting shit.
What's the urge or the drive behind it?
Just the find.
Yeah.
The search and the find of it is like when you walk into a store, like if I go to New York or someplace and I walk into a store, I'm like, dude, I've never seen this Simpsons doll before. I've never seen this like this type of whatever it is before. And then the kind of that euphoric feeling you get when you find something that you're like, wow, this is sick, man. Like, and buying it and then taking it home and putting it up. Like,
and is it the fact that too that like no one else probably has it either?
Not
like,
even
almost
that.
No one else.
Like, if I like something that I think is like mass produced, but I've never seen before, to me it's special because I've never seen it before. You know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, ooh, like if I've never seen it before and I think it's something that's mass produced, then probably there's other people that haven't seen it. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So if I have something out that, like, I'm trying to think, recently I had something out and my friend came over was like, dude, I didn't even know they made these. And I was like, I know, it's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Or like buying like special editions of movies, like that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood one. If you open it up, comes with a free poster and like a record album inside of it, a mini record. I have a Kanye My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy record that is insane, that is sick. I'll show you when we're done with this.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I feel like I want to be like that more, but I'm
it's like, actually better not to be because I've spent a lot of money I spent a lot of useless money on this.
Because I'm a very like necessities guy.
Yeah.
I'm a very like, I can stream that on fucking Apple Music, you know? And so like that's good enough for me, but I could see why, like, even being in here, it's like a nostalgia thing.
Yeah. Plus it's also stuff like my movie podcasts talk about this all the time about having, especially when it comes to collecting Blu-rays and physical media, is like, if there's a movie that you love that's on Netflix and you're like, oh, nice, like I'll watch that on Saturday, and then Saturday comes around and you're like, oh fuck, they took it down from Netflix, then you're fucked.
Stop it. You can find it on the 17 other streaming services that
not always.
Oh, dude.
And a lot of times stuff isn't even available. It's only available on physical media, or let's say that for whatever reason that streaming service goes away.
So do you still currently buy DVDs and Blu-rays?
Yeah, see the one right there that says Babylon?
Yeah, you bought that recently?
Yeah, that came in the mail a couple weeks ago.
In the mail.
Yeah, I ordered it off Amazon. But yeah, I buy Blu-rays probably at least 2 or 3 times a month. If it's a movie I really like or really love, then I want to watch it again.
I don't think I have anything that like I've actually collected before.
Yeah, man.
I just don't know where that would come from either.
If I had the money, I would probably collect more watches.
Oh yeah, but those.
But I don't mean like, yeah, I'd love to have a Rolex, but like, there's just random watches I really like that I'm like, one watch is fine for me.
Yeah. And
this was a gift for my girlfriend because I told her I wanted this watch. But if I had money, like I'd be buying watches more, and I could see having way more money. I'd be way more into collecting stuff because one, I'd have the room for it because I'd have a bigger house.
Yeah.
And two, I just have the means to buy whatever I want.
That's such a again for me. Again, this is like totally two perspectives, right? This is such an odd thing, is because I don't even wear watches. Like for me, my fucking phone does all that for me.
Yeah, but it's not about telling the time for me.
Yeah, it's a look, right?
It's a look, and it's like it's a conversation piece.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's like if it was just about telling time, you could apply that. Like, no one needs a Range Rover. You could just buy a Toyota Corolla. But
and
it's
that's
about status and amenities.
Time.
You know.
Yeah. Well, like, status is probably the other reason why I buy it.
But this is just, I like the aesthetic of it,
and
like, it's just another thing for just like shoes. It's just like you could just buy a pair of Converse every time, but like, oh dude, you have the new Jordans? I like that colorway, but I have this color. It's like a conversation thing, Yeah. So like people come up to me all the time, especially at work, and be like, dude, how do you like your PRX? I was like, oh man, I love it. It's my favorite watch. They're like, oh no, look at, I have the white one. It's just another thing that you can talk about with someone and connect with someone over.
Okay.
And appreciate together.
I think you might have inspired me, honestly.
Maybe.
I know, seriously, because, most of the time I'm like, I don't need that shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like
and most of the time I don't. 90% of the shit that I'm talking about.
No, you don't. But like at the same time, that still builds connection.
Yeah.
To other people, and then people are gonna remember you. And people.
Dude, I had a guy at Trader Joe's. I had my AirPods in.
Yeah.
At Trader Joe's, complete another man stranger go, like, take out your AirPod, and I was like, yeah, and he's like, dude, nice watch, man. You have good taste. And I was like, oh, thanks, man.
Was he like 60? His name was
he was like
Frank.
a 35, 40-year-old guy.
Yeah,
but I get this
sense,
all.
bro.
I tell people I tell my girlfriend because she got it for me. I picked it out. I was like, this. I sent her a screenshot. This is the watch I want. I love this watch. I love the look of this watch. I told her I've never owned any single item in my entire life that gets more compliments than this watch. And it's a $500 watch. It's not even a $5,000 watch. It's not even a $1,000 watch. It's like a $400 or $500 watch.
Okay.
But I get more daily compliments on this fucking watch than anything I've ever owned. Any shoe, any T-shirt, any hat, anything.
That's
than
wild.
This watch. It's fucking insane. I get it almost daily. The day does not go by almost where someone doesn't go, oh man, nice watch, dude. Oh, is that the PRX? Oh, is that the Tissot? You have the same one? Yeah, man.
Again, I feel so left out.
At work, I had a guy come in. He used to come into the shop all the time. He was like a retired veteran.
Yeah.
This black guy. He had a fucking bling.
Oh, was it the guy who looked like Jeezy?
Yeah. Yeah.
He
had a bling and Rolex on. And every time he goes, dude, is that the PRX?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, dude, I want that watch so badly. I was like, you have a $30,000 Rolex on. What are you talking about? He's like, I know, man, but something about that watch. I just really love the style of it, how it looks on your wrist. I'm like, thanks, man.
Okay. No, yeah, you might have inspired me. I think I'm gonna go.
Become a watch guy.
Yeah, no, just in general, just like there's certain things like you said, status and all that stuff, all that bullshit.
Status is at the bottom of the list for me. It's more about just appreciating things that you like. That's why it doesn't matter to me that this could be $500 or $500,000. I just like it.
Yeah. Some
people only want shit that's expensive. If I like it, I like it. I don't care if it's $5, $500, $5,000.
I've always been that way, but I don't like a lot. I guess I don't like it enough to be like, hey, I'm going to put it on my wrist.
Like Dan H. wears a really cool old school silver Timex.
Yeah.
That you can buy at Walmart for $20. I love that watch.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It just looks like professional, like
it just looks like an old school cool watch that anyone could buy that not many people wear anymore because it's so old school.
No, yeah, dude. I just can't believe I'm late to the game.
And you'd have to search it out. You'd have to go to Walmart and pick that watch out.
It's funny because like my dad was really into all that stuff. And I don't know if it's just like I'm not like my dad, I don't want to be like my dad. Yeah. Like, fuck that, Yeah. And like the rebelling type deal. Yeah. But like, I didn't really notice it until like you just kind of like told me about it. And like a lot of people are like, yeah, dude. I watched this guy on YouTube named Brandon Carter. I don't know if you know who he is. He's like a big like fitness influencer. Yeah. But he's always like, you got to get you a fucking watch, man. He's like some like fucking, he's like rags to riches guy.
Yeah,
like he was in Southside Chicago. Yeah. And then he became like a super fucking rich guy. But he was like, you always have to have a watch. Like people think like a lot of you. Yeah. And that's just in general in like business too, because like they'll respect you more or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, dude, I think I have found like
yeah, man.
Maybe I'm inspired to finally
I'm not
venture out a little bit,
Look, I have a Louis Vuitton wallet, so this is gonna sound hypocritical.
Yeah.
But anyone can just. That's why I think I told you a while ago. You look like a doofus if you're wearing Gucci head to toe. Yeah. If you're wearing a Gucci T-shirt and a Gucci sweatpants and a Gucci fanny, like one of those side bags, like you look ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Anyone with money can walk into Gucci. That's why they say just because you're rich, you don't have style or taste.
Yeah, exactly.
Because anyone that has money can go in and buy whatever they want.
Exactly.
And that's the point I'm making about this watch is that it's a nice watch, not because it's $500. It's just a nice watch because it's a nice watch.
It's a nice watch.
And it could be $50, it could be $500, it could be $50,000.
Yeah, exactly.
And something nice and cool looking is nice and cool looking, regardless of how expensive it is.
Yeah. No, you're right. Wow, I love that.
Bro,
honestly.
Just putting you on.
Dude, John's got the game here. He's just teaching me some game right now.
You could almost say the same thing about food, right?
Yeah.
Have you been to a super expensive restaurant where the food was just meh?
Exactly.
And how much does Chipotle hit every time you go? And
it hits every time.
It doesn't matter. Sometimes, and sometimes that's not the case. Wow. Sometimes you do get what you pay for.
Yeah.
You know, if you buy like a shitty rundown car with 200,000 miles on it, you're probably not going to get the same quality as you would as like a brand new like good Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so money does matter for sure a lot of the times, but other times it's just about having good taste in things, of what looks good, whether it's expensive or not.
I have terrible taste in things, I feel.
No.
Just like the way I dress and just in general.
Yeah, but that you can change that. You don't have to be like that forever. You can change that.
No, I know. I've been trying to look a little bit half decent when I come in, but I feel like
what's funny is, did you ever watch the show Sopranos?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Heard of it, yes.
So James Gandolfini, the star of the show that played Tony Soprano, infamous character, he was like the mob boss in the show.
Yeah.
Apparently, after I don't remember the exact details of the story, but after like the first episode of the first season, people from the mob, the actual mob, reached out to him and said like, this show's pretty spot on accurate. The only thing that we don't agree with or don't think is accurate,
seeing a therapist.
Mob bosses don't wear shorts.
Get the fuck out.
I swear to God. Yeah. Look it up. James Gandolfini tells the story about every time I was like, don't wear shorts in the show. Mob bosses don't wear shorts because it doesn't look professional. There's a scene in the show where they're at this fancy dinner and they look over and there's a guy and his girl and the guy's wearing a ball cap inside this nice restaurant.
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, can you believe this generation? Like, what's this guy doing wearing a hat inside this nice restaurant? Like, what happened to having some class at a place like this?
Yeah.
And he's like, don't worry about it, man. Just ignore him. And he goes, no. And he goes up to him and he goes, hey, man, take off the hat. And the guy, this kid staying at the restaurant, doesn't know that this guy's a mob boss. And he goes, fuck you, man. I'm not taking off my hat. I'll wear whatever I want.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me and he goes, take off the fucking hat. And he says it so intimidatingly.
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh, shit, okay. And takes off the hat. So there's like a thing about like looking nice and being presentable.
Professional. You know? Yeah.
And like people perceiving you a certain way because of what you're wearing or how you wear it. Yeah.
I need to do more of it, honestly, because I look like a bum right now. I got fucking sweats on. I got fucking...
Yeah, but you just came from
shaven.
You just came from work.
Huh?
You just came from work.
Yeah, which is worse, right? I feel like I should be more presentable at work than anything. All right.
What else you got?
Oh, we got a big topic, actually. Can I grab another drink? Would that be okay?
Want to pause it?
Oh, yeah, we'll pause it real quick.